take a few minutes to go over some of the tricks and tips and strategies that we've learned along the way this semester. I think we're getting our sea legs, canvas legs, that is, and I hope you're feeling more comfortable with this course management system as time goes by. I'd love to hear from you on what kind of trainings and workshops you'd like to see in the future. But for now, I'd like to show you a few things. So come on, let's check it out. You're probably starting to wonder about the file manager. So I'd like to go a little bit over the different ways that you can organize and put your files into folders. So I want to go over here to the account. You notice that you have a global file manager in the account menu. Now, this is all set up by your courses. So you're going to see a lot of courses over the last couple of semesters listed here. What you can do is you can click on the name of the class and you could actually preload files. Now I want you just to notice here that if I was to move some of these files and organize them, drag and drop so to speak, this will not break the link in the course. So I'm looking at the global file manager. So now if I wanted to go back to my course, I could go into my course, and I'm just going to pick my new spring course, and I can go to the files here. Now I want you to understand that each course has its own files. So yes, I can go over to the account and I can preload files and pictures and images and all kinds of PowerPoints and documents in the global file manager, but they're still going to be managed locally. For some of us, we want to work in the course that we're building and creating. And in that case, you can go to the file manager for your course and create folders and upload files ahead of time. That way, when you're creating activities, whether it's content pages or assignments in your module, I'm going to click on the plus sign. The dialog box will open up and I'll be able to decide what it is I want to create. Now, if I've just uploaded a document and an image, I'll be able to embed that in this content page. I'm just going to call this practice for this purpose of the tutorial. Remember, these items go down to the bottom. I'm going to click on the name of the content page, and now I can go over to edit and my panel appears. And if I preloaded that document in my file manager, whether it's here in the global manager or in the local files for this particular course, I should have it ready to go. So notice, so this is going to be student letter. I can highlight this. My file is ready to go. It highlights, that means it's active and it's linked. And then I can also go over here to the images that I've preloaded. Now notice that I can also upload on the fly. But the purpose of this lesson is that sometimes it's nice to organize your files ahead of time so they're there. So I just wanted to show you that quickly. May help with some management. And again, if you decide to move these files around, the links will not break. Okay? So that's just one nice little feature in Canvas. So let's talk about rubrics. I'm going to show you one way to set up your rubrics. You can come over here to Outcomes on your menu. Now, it may not be available for your students to view, but it is available for you to view and create rubrics. Click on the dot, dot, dot icon and manage rubrics. Now you may have some already coming over from Blackboard, or maybe you created some in the past and you have them all listed here for that particular class or course. Some of you may have access to other courses that have rubrics and you'd be able to select from here if you wanted to make any changes and additions to the rubric because we have something new in the rubrics. We have what's called the ratings and also the title. So for example, I'm just going to show you very quickly how to create this rubric. The description of the criterion, say you're going to be doing a threaded discussion and you want to make sure that there's good grammar and spelling. So that could be a criterion. And then here's the cool thing is that you can actually set it up so it has a range. So let's just check that out and see what that looks like. Now, if you knew that for this particular criterion, it was going to be 2 points. And now watch how that just changed here. And we want exemplary. We want the students to know what exemplary is. So we can make sure that we have the exemplary title and then we have a lot of details about what we're expecting for that student in the rating description. I'll let you fill that out and then click on Update Rating. Now, if you're not happy with how that it's distributed the range because it's such few points, it's going to make a difference. You could actually put them in yourself manually and update that. So now, grammar and spelling, exemplary could be earning from 2 to 1 points, and then no marks, you can change that to say inadequate or however term you would like to use, and then put the details on what that looks like as far as the rating description. Maybe it means that there's a couple of spelling and grammar errors and that you're going to give them some points, but really not as many full points as they could earn. So that's what that looks like, and that's why the range is important. So you can come down here and continue to add more criterion, and really it's going to help your students. So once you're done with that, and you've filled it all out, you're going to click on Create Rubric. And then you have your practice rubric. Now let's go add it to an assignment. So in your assignment area, you can create your assignments. And the cool thing about it is for an assignment, and I already have a rubric here, it's right below the assignment. So let me go back and try to find one that doesn't have a rubric. Let's try this one. Doesn't have a rubric, so I'm going to click on the plus rubric and I'm going to be able to either build it on the fly or go find the rubric I created ahead of time. Now, I do have access to other courses and other course rubrics, and then I would just locate the rubric that I created, and then I would click on Use this rubric. It's going to come into this area here. What I usually recommend is make sure you click on the pencil and you say by clicking on this check mark that you are going to use this rubric for assignment grading. That way, everything will be able to be clicked on to add up in your speed grader. So there's a couple other things as you notice that you can check on. Got to make sure that these points are matching with the rubric, but it does prompt you if it doesn't. Now, showing you one more thing for the discussions. Discussions are a little bit different. If you're going to be adding a rubric, make sure it has points to the discussion. Notice that there's no place to add a rubric here because there are no points for this particular open-ended discussion. Okay, so here I'm at the discussion. I'm going to click on the cogwheel and add that rubric. Now, again, you can create it on the fly right here. It will save in the outcomes, but if I already have created ahead of time, I'm going to go click on Find That Rubric and locate that one. This is the one I wanted. I'm going to use this rubric and then make sure they click on the pencil because you're going to use this rubric for assignment grading. Update that. And again, it's because I have a different rubric grade. This is what it's going to look like for students with the discussion. I think it's important for you to see how students see the rubric. You are going to give them direction to click on the cogwheel and show rubric, and now it appears for them to take a look at. I think it's important that they see the rubric. And this rubric, just so you know, was pre the upgrade. So notice there is no range and there is no titles for exemplary, proficient, developing, novice, and so on and so forth. So I think you're going to like that. So you're going to want to update or start from scratch creating your rubrics. Okay, so another question I got was about pages. Once you click on pages, the home page is going to show up first. So you're just going to click on view all pages, and all the pages, content pages that you have made in Canvas are going to show up. And you can sort by creation date and last edit if you need to, or the page title. So one thing that we did discover, and this is fairly new to Canvas, is that you can duplicate these pages. Now, you remember this means it's published or non-published, but maybe I had some overviews that I just wanted to continue using the graphics, the format, and I'm going over here to the week 3 overview, and I'm just coming over here to the cogwheel and I'm clicking on duplicate. So it's going to create a copy and it's going to number the copies after that. So that way I can go in and I can actually edit the text, everything. So what if this was really going to be week 2? Can take that off. It's not going to overwrite anything because I have a unique name here. And then I just edit the text here, and then I come down and save and publish. And that way I can actually bring it into my module. So I hope that saves some time for you. One thing that we did discover though, this is a little bit of a watch out, is that if you have a page, say you're bringing over some of your modules from another uh, Canvas course, or you want to reuse it, and there is a page that you are importing in called float code for images and text, it's going to override this. It will not, if you're copying over, it will not provide a duplicate page. So just be careful about that. But you can duplicate these pages by going to the cogwheel and duplicate here. Okay, I hope that helped. Okay, here's a real quick short tip that we found very recently. See this view grades? It's at the bottom of your dashboard. View grades, you click on that, it's going to give you the average of your classes here. This is the average grade that the students have done. Average for 121 students is 95.89%. And then you can go further and check some of the different students. Okay, here's another tip. We're in settings in your course, and you're going to import your content from another semester. Remember this, you're going to go over to copy a Canvas course. You're going to look for that course that you want to bring into the empty course, probably for this semester. And then you're going to select all content and you're going to adjust events and due dates. This is a handy little feature. You can either shift them, so you need to know the beginning date and change to the beginning date of the new semester, and the ending date of the current semester and change to the future date, so on and so forth. And then if you actually start your class Sunday to Sunday, you're going to want to make sure that substitution is checked and then import, or and start from scratch. It's up to you. I also want you to notice here, when you run your current jobs, you will possibly, I hope not though, have one issue or something you can click on. Watch how cool this is. This will take me to the error message. It'll take me right there to that page where there is an issue and tell me what's going on with that. I think that's pretty cool. I do want to show you one more thing while we're talking about settings. You can validate your links in the content. So you can start the link validation. It may take a little while depending on how many links you have in there. So it's going to return every invalid or unresponsive link that it comes across, and you'll be able to click on them and check it out to see what you may have to recreate or edit. Well, I think that's about all for now. If you think of anything else you'd like to know more about, please let me know. Or, as you know, this is what I call a whirlwind tour. So if you like some more in-depth information, let me know. I'll put together a workshop or send you an additional video or Canvas guide, or we can create a flex activity. So I hope you have a good semester, and I hope that you're enjoying Canvas and all the wonderful tools that can help you and your students be successful. Thank you.